know, every time you put your fate in somebody else's hands, they get to do whatever they want to do with it, and that's what you've done.
Yeah.
You're saying for this anger and all that jazz to go away, she has to say this. Well, she's not going to say it. Let's just say, most likely she's not. It's been years.
Right.
Okay. So here you are waiting on her. And when she dies, you are not going to feel relieved, not really betrayed, because she had the opportunity to say, I'm sorry. She didn't. She took it to her grave. Now what am I left with? Absolutely nothing. I think the solution is that you find your peace in you and not wait on her. Because this anger will kill you. This hurt will kill you. Who to forgive, who to love, who not to forgive, who not to love. It's got to be in your hands. You got to completely take her out of the formula here. And by the way, let me tell you, let me explain her to you for a minute. This is a woman who's never learned to love right, who's never been loved, who've never seen good family. She comes from craziness, she comes from drinking, she's a drinker herself. She made a mess out of her life. She doesn't know which side is up. Then she has you guys, she doesn't know what to do. She went through whatever she went through, here she is now. Selfish, silly, immature, but her parents were in this situation. When she's such a wounded girl herself, by the way, you're expecting her to act and to be someone who's healthy and is put together. In fact, what you're asking her to do will destroy her. What you're asking of her is unfair. She doesn't have it in you. She doesn't have it in her, what you're asking of her, Valerie. It's not right. Now, this is what you are not to ask this of her. One, it's not about right or wrong. She is definitely wrong. But she's been done wrong. What do you want her to do? If she admits things to you now, it will forever highlight her failure. So you're asking her to actually admit this and admit that the man she brought into the family was abusing her daughter. You want her to face this, and then what? You go away happy. What's going to become of her? She is stuffing it. She's drinking it away. She's as selfish as they come. She's surviving the way she knows how. And here you are with your cheery self saying, admit that you're wrong. No. If I do admit I'm wrong, every fantasy, every world I've built up in my head goes away. Particularly when I know it's wrong and that I was the cause of it. And that's what you're asking her to do. It will destroy her. It's much better for survival, it's much safer for her to simply ignore. Because she will be opening up her own wound. That's what she's going through. I'm not condoning it. I'm just explaining to you because you got to understand what you're asking.
Never thought of it that way.
I think so.
The heart part of it.
I think so.
She's
a sad, hurt, pathetic mother. Let her be. She doesn't know any better. Look at what she went through. She got roughed up the way you got roughed up. Where do you want her to bring the care and the love and the decency and the confidence and all those good stuff, characteristics and qualities for her to come and say, yeah, I think you were right and I was wrong, or what I've done is wrong and that was going to happen to me? I want you to move away from the victim position to a position of strength. Because you've been sitting in there too long with the belief that you're entitled for this thing to come your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
You are right. It ought to.
But it's not.
One, it's not. Two,
Yeah.
it ought not to matter anymore.
Yeah.
Waiting for it pauses your life.
Mm-hmm.
The sense of entitlement that you have, which is right on one hand, you ought to get this kind of acknowledgement and forgiveness or whatever it is. But the flip side to it is that it has paused you and it has made you a slave to it. That's the part you don't see.
Yes, it affected me.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so this position you're in, it's put you in this victim position. You're still a victim if you're waiting for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still a victim. I've been done wrong, Mom. I want you to acknowledge this. Okay, if it gets acknowledged, okay, now I'm not a victim anymore. No. Now you get out of the victim position, you say, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You had a sad, pathetic life. And I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And indeed, I got damaged by it.
Mm-hmm.
I got hurt by it, but that was then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Today I get to control
Right.
what's going to dictate my life and what kind of forgiveness I want and in whose hands I put my life. I want you're still in a victim role, and as long as you take that role, you will always be one. You think like one, you feel like one, you behave like one, and you live your life like one, which is this.
Yep.
Boohoon every night drinking. Victim position. You gotta start thinking and believing, Valerie, that her acknowledgement doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter. What matters is what you have now.
Mm-hmm.
What matters is how you live life now.
I know, logically. I know that.
That's okay, we'll start with logic.
I know,
And
logically.
I need you to stop searching for her to make things right. It's yours to make it right this time because you're a grown woman.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you'll be in her hands. I mean, take a pick. Take a pick. You want to keep this up?
Yeah.
She dies, you'll never hear of it. You'll be completely destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have nowhere to go. What you'll say is to me in the future is, she did this, she never acknowledged, she never said I'm sorry, she's dead now. What do I do? That's the conversation we're going to have.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Because there's no solution then. If you say that later on, the solution still has to come from you when she dies. Is to say, you got to stop this role you're in. Voluntarily put yourself in this victim.
I know I'm allowing her this much power, but I don't know how to just pull the power back. And
You
say, I know logically,
it
no.
does not matter.
I keep telling myself that.
It does not matter. You know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
She knows the truth. Everybody knows the truth.